Are our doctors trying to make us crazy? Medical gaslighting is getting a lot of attention recently, and I'd like to start a conversation about it. Hello, my dear friends, and welcome. I'm glad you're here. In the past few months, I have seen an uptick in articles, blogs, news stories, and videos on medical gaslighting, and it's given me pause for thought. In addition to my medication, I follow a 4-pillar approach to living well with my MS: diet, whole food plant-based, exercise, cardio and strength training regularly, sleep, good quality and good quantity, and kindness in the forms of compassion and mindfulness. I've developed a course on this to help others live well with their MS too. If you'd like to see if this course is a good fit for you, see the link in the description below to book a time to talk with me. Now, under the heading of kindness, words matter. The words that we use matter. I try to be careful with the words that I use. And by careful, I mean full of care. I try to choose my words carefully because words have power. And as I know that this can be a highly charged topic and stir up a lot of emotions, I'm going to try to choose my words carefully today. I'm not sure that everyone knows what the word gaslighting means, so let's take a look at it. It came from the 1944 American movie Gaslight. It was a psychological thriller starring Charles Boyer and Ingrid Bergman. I did it again. I mispronounced a word. The actor's name is Charles Boyer. He's French. And if you want to be really correct, Charles Boyer. Back to the video. It was actually a remake of the 1940 British film, but the American version deviated from the British version a bit. In both versions, the husband purposely tries to drive the wife insane to distract her from his criminal activities. In part of the movie, the gas lights in the house waver and dim whenever the husband leaves the house. The husband's actually orchestrating this, and it's one of the things he uses to try to convince her that she's imagining things and can't trust her own thoughts. He's intentionally trying to drive her insane, to make her literally crazy. According to Wikipedia, the term gaslighting didn't really take off until the mid-2010s, when it started showing up regularly. According to the American Psychological Association, it once referred to manipulation so extreme as to induce mental illness or justify commitment of the gaslighted person to a psychiatric institution. I'm not comfortable with the term medical gaslighting. It implies that our doctors are purposely manipulating us or trying to hurt us. It implies they're willfully trying to cause us harm. I don't think this is true. I believe most doctors, in fact, most people, have good intentions. Doctors even take an oath swearing to uphold specific ethical and professional standards. Not many of us have to take an oath like this for our profession. Using the term medical gaslighting also sets up an us against them mentality. And Lord knows we don't need any more of that in our world. Am I right? Let me know in the comments below what you think. It frames the doctor as the bad guy, as someone not to be trusted, someone that doesn't care about us, or worse, someone that's abusing us and purposely keeping us ill for their own gain. Now, this does not mean that there are not problems within the medical community, with patients having their symptoms dismissed and not taken seriously, or feeling they're not heard. Indeed, there's plenty of data showing that women, people of color, members of the LGBTQ+ community, and elderly are more likely to be misdiagnosed or have to wait longer for a diagnosis and appropriate care. This is partly attributed to symptoms not being taken seriously and not being heard. It can cause a lot of unnecessary suffering and pain. It is definitely a big problem that needs to be addressed. So, what can we do about it? As I am a glass is half full and refillable kind of girl, I invite you to look at it from a different angle and use some different tactics when talking with our doctors. First, let's consider the business of medicine. I'm in the US, where our doctors are limited with the amount of time that they can spend with each patient, and also the tests that they can order for their patients by the insurance companies. I often have to advocate for myself with the insurance company, not my doctor. Some doctors are also overwhelmed by the number of patients they need to see each day. And sometimes, due to the limited time that doctors have to see each patient, they often run behind schedule. This leads to us sitting in the waiting rooms and exam rooms for extended periods of times. And I'm not sure about you, but when I have to wait like this, I can become irritable, upset, frustrated. I know, hard to believe, but it's true. And when this happens, I'm not always the best communicator with my doctor once they finally arrive. And sometimes the doctor seems rushed, as they're aware they're behind schedule too. Not that this is an excuse, but it could explain how sometimes communication is strained or symptoms may be brushed aside or not heard. Second, we need to consider the complexity of the diagnosis. MS is one of many very challenging diseases to diagnose. It may take a lot of time and a lot of tests to reach a diagnosis. Autoimmune diseases can develop over a period of years and the symptoms can come and go, so it may be hard to pin down. This can leave us feeling like our doctors aren't doing enough to help us. Third, stress and anxiety can cause real symptoms. Sometimes when doctors ask about stress, it can feel like they don't believe our symptoms are real, like they think the symptoms are all in our head. But stress hormones can cause very real symptoms in every part of the body. Doctors may be asking about stress and anxiety because it may be a contributing factor. Can some doctors not listen? Yep. Can some doctors dismiss our symptoms? Yep. Does bias and racism play a role in getting adequate medical care? Yep. If you feel like you're not being heard, or that your doctor is dismissing your symptoms, or that you're not getting appropriate medical care, ask the doctor to stop and refocus the conversation back on your symptoms. Don't be afraid to be a strong advocate for yourself. Ask for a second opinion. Ask for a referral. Seek out another doctor on your own. If you're not able to due to your health plan, document your concerns in writing and ask for a response. It is okay to question our doctors if we feel our symptoms are being dismissed or ignored. We have the right to be heard and cared for. We don't have to put up with substandard care. Here are some tips that may help when talking with your doctor about your symptoms if you feel like you're not being heard. Write down your symptoms and bring a copy for the doctor. If we have a specific list to refer to, we are less likely to forget things or get off track when we're talking to the doctor, and it may help the doctor stay on task as well. Keep asking questions. If the doctor says something that you don't understand or agree with, ask them to explain it again or differently. For instance, we can say, "I don't understand. Could you go over that again?" Or, "Before we move on, could we go back and could you explain that differently?" Bring someone with you. It always helps to have a second set of ears in the room with us. Introduce them as your support person. Let the doctor know they're there to help you and make sure you don't miss anything. Get a second opinion or ask for a referral. As I said, it's okay to get more than one opinion or to ask for a referral if the doctor you're seeing can't help you. It can go something like this. "Thank you, doctor. As I'm still concerned, could you recommend another type of doctor that I can see that might be able to help find the cause of these symptoms?" When I see accounts of people with MS feeling that they're not heard or their symptoms are not being taken seriously, it is really troubling. My heart goes out to them. This is a problem that should be addressed. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement. I would like to see our healthcare providers be better trained in listening and communication skills. I like my doctors. I don't always agree with them, but I respect them, and I like to think that they respect me too. Over the years, there have been some consultation with doctors that were not a good fit for me, or I decided I needed to get a second opinion. See my diagnosis story up above or in the description below. But I never felt they were out to get me or purposely tried to cause me harm. Ever. Using the term medical gaslighting to describe when we feel like we're not being heard or when we feel like we're not receiving adequate medical care also does a disservice to those who are true victims of gaslighting. Those that are victims of intentional abuse, those who are being intentionally manipulated by someone close to them, someone who's supposed to care about them. Our words matter. I would like to see the term medical gaslighting go away. It is inflammatory, and I believe it causes harm to the doctor-patient relationship. It is causing mistrust, and it may be causing people to not seek medical care when they need it. And it also waters down the true meaning of gaslighting. The question of the day is, what do you think? Are our doctors trying to gaslight us? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoy hearing my musings on living well with chronic illness, please click the like button, the thumbs up under the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Until next time, be well.